Hey, Father Ian Van Heusen here. So I just want to give you a definition of what is a desolation. So I'm going to read the text by St. Ignatius. I might just kind of interject as I'm reading it, and then just kind of give me an idea of what do I mean by that, because it's a concept I deal with a lot. So spiritual desolation, this is from the Rules of Discernment. I call desolation what is entirely the opposite of what is described in the third rule. So the third rule deals with spiritual consolation, and we're going to do a video on that as well. As darkness of soul. Interesting image, right? Darkness of soul, turmoil of spirit, inclination to what is low and earthly, restlessness rising from many disturbances and temptations which lead to want of faith, want of hope, want of love. The soul is wholly slothful, tepid, sad, and separated, as it were, from its Creator and Lord. For just as consolation is the opposite of desolation, so the thoughts that spring from consolation are the opposites of those that spring from desolation. And I want to keep coming back to this definition over and over again. We see within that some program for how we are to deal with desolation. He deals with some strategies later on. But the big thing is, desolations are lies. Let me say that again. The thoughts that come from desolations are lies. So we have to learn to do, when we're striving to go from good to better, when we're striving to live in accordance with God's commandments and every day being a disciple of Jesus Christ, the enemy is going to try to sow these seeds of desolation. But now we also have to be careful. The reality is, all of us are going to experience desolations every single day. You know, it's not something that's just for dramatic. And I'm going to get into this with a little bit more content. But we're all going to experience desolations. So, you know, somebody asked, we were doing a live Facebook live feed before this, and we were kind of brainstorming topics, and they kind of asked, well, what's the difference between a depression and a desolation? What I would say depression is, or mental illness in general, it's a desolation that we can't overcome without the help of psychology, without the help of counseling, without the help of medication, in the particular case of some mental illnesses. But for most of us, if we're healthy in mind, if we have a mental illness, if it's in remission, what we should learn to do is overcome our desolations by being patient and by other strategies. I'm going to get into that in a future video, but I hope this has been informative. So let's just continue this conversation. Consolation, desolation, know those concepts. Amen.